If you have any questions, ask in the chat. Also, you can look at all the products, whether I'm talking about them or not. They're on the stream down right below the video. You can click back and forth. If you're on mobile, the products will be up and down and you can click those. You should see a follow button. So go ahead and click that so you don't miss another show. And may as well get started. I figure it's 2:47 on the West Coast. That's 2:47 a.m. on the West Coast. I'm up late. I've been doing a bunch of stuff, organizing a bunch of products, and I thought, well, I'm up. I'm sure there's other people up shopping too. And as you can tell, I just got my new Christmas background today. So I'm in the mood for Christmas. It's coming before we know it. So even if we're not ready, I suggest we get ready. This year has gone super fast. I'm like, I can't keep up. It seems like we just had Christmas and we are doing it again. So let me make sure that doesn't fall off. I'm going to need those. The first thing I have up for you is if you use a lot of video equipment, you've got cameras, all kinds of cameras. One of the things I carry all the time is right here. And these are the microfiber cloths. I never remember what they call them, but they're microfiber cloths. And these come in a pack of 24. All I know is we have a lot of them. I have ones that I use just in my camera bag. I don't let them get used out in the shop. I make sure I wash them pretty much by themselves so that they don't get any kind of grease on them. You don't want any fabric softener on them, lotions, anything like that that could leave a residue. You want to make sure you just wash them. And I hang mine out. I don't dry them because if you use dryer sheets, it will leave a residue in your dryer all the time, and it will get on your microfiber cloths to be exact. And then when you use them, they can smear and leave that film on your camera. So you don't want to do that. Just be really, really careful when you wash them. So these go with me everywhere because I'm always getting a fingerprint, dust, something on my lens. And then I've got spots and smears. And I've come home and looked through whole car show video and there's a smear somewhere. It's easier just to keep them clean. It's really hard to try to fix it. It's a little bit late. You try to figure out if it's on a side you can cut out. Otherwise, you're in deep trouble. So, microfiber cloths. Keep your lenses clean. Keep your cloths clean. And, well, thank you, Chris, for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. It makes me feel special. Makes Amazon think I'm special. I do a little happy dance, but I have no rhythm, so it wouldn't be very impressive. But thank you very much. And if at any time y'all have questions about the products, I use them all the time. I'll do my best to answer any questions for you. Also, you can look through any of the products you want at any time. Just move the little buttons and you can go and check them out. And I've got dogs coming in to see what I'm doing. They woke up and they said, Mom's not in bed. Where is she? I'm busted, is basically what's happened. All right. This next item is a gimbal. Now, if you go and do video a lot out and about with your phone, I do car shows. Every weekend I'm doing car shows. So the problem comes in that if you're just walking with your phone and you're holding it, you're going to get that bounce and that jerky turns. And that can make people kind of seasick when they watch your video. I've watched some of those videos where I'm like, I don't feel very well. We're not on a bumpy roller coaster, but it sure does feel like it. So we have a solution. I'm going to take my phone out of the case and I'm going to show you how this works. This is a DJI OM4 gimbal. Comes with a tripod, and normally it would be folded down. Now that you've seen that it does come with a tripod, I'm going to take that off because I don't use it. But here it is. This is super handy because it folds down nice. I sometimes, when I'm not using it, I put this part in my back pocket, in my jeans pocket, so I can fold it down and have both hands free. Or sometimes I use a different gimbal, and this is handy. So to use a gimbal, if you haven't ever used one, I'm going to do a little demo for you so you kind of know what this particular gimbal does and why I like it. I'm going to position my phone on here, and there it is, just on there. Now, one of the cool things about the OM4, this is a DJI OM4. This is a little different than the 2s and the 3s. This one, you can take your phone off quick and easy. You don't have to take it completely out of the little grabber thing. This is a magnet, and it snaps on and off, which is super duper handy. You'll know if you get it right because, as you can see right here, is a little notch, and on the phone piece has a little notch. So you can match those up, and I'm going to watch my fingers and then just turn it to make sure it's in that little notch. All right. Now, we've got right here, we've got the green light, which I know that's hard to see in the camera, and then 3 white lights. And the green light means it's on. The 3 white lights tell you how much charge it has. So you'll know if it's running low and you need to recharge it because the lights will start turning off. Now, we have it in what I call TikTok mode. And if you want, just with this little button here, I am going to direct it where I want. And it makes your video much smoother. And when you're walking, it's going to keep it balanced more so that you're going to get a smoother video rather than this. You still have to walk somewhat gently. I can pretty much jog with it, but I've been doing it for years, and I know the best thing to do is go heel to toe when you're walking, and that will keep your video smoother than if you try to run on your tiptoes. That doesn't work very well. Trust me, I've done it. But now, say you don't want to do a vertical video, you want to do one for YouTube, so you want it horizontal. You're going to go right here, the little on-off switch, and you're going to click it twice. And there you go. Is that not cool? Then I can do the same thing as I did when it was vertical. I can make smooth turns going whichever way I want. And it makes it super easy so that if I want to see the inside roof of a car with my camera here, I can turn it up like this and be in the car window and see more of the ceiling, or I can go down the hood of a car and walk back. And I do a lot of lowrider shows, and lowriders have paint. And you want to show that off. That's where they've put thousands of dollars into their paint. So I'm going to take it and start up at the front of the hood. And as I come down the hood, I'm going to turn it down and then back up. And that way I get a smooth glide down the hood to show that paint off. Now, one of the things I want you to know, if you've never used a gimbal, you never want to let go of the handle while the gimbal is powered on. If you do that, it will just start spinning and it'll tear up the motor. So be very careful with it. Don't let go of it. If you do have it on the tripod that it comes with, it's fine. But just be careful. Also, if you do put this in your purse or your camera bag, be careful that it doesn't get bumped and turn on, because there again, it doesn't know it was an accident and it will start spinning. So I'm going to turn off for a second. And I want to show you why I like this. It's because I run a cordless mic set. And when I do interviews, when I'm at some car shows where they have a lot of music, things like that, a lot of your gimbals will butt up to the edge of your phone, which means you can't plug in anything down here, whether it's a power cord because you're in a desperate situation, or my cordless mics can't plug in either. So with this one, I can use my cordless mic and still video anything I want. Just that easy. And it's not going to bump into anything. It's not being blocked by anything. And that works out great. That's why I have this gimbal. I have another one that I love. In fact, the other one, I would love it more, but I can't use my mics. But this is all, it does come with an app. There is an app for it, so you can zoom, you can do all kinds of things. I personally don't use the app. I am not I just don't do that. I do it all manually because I've done it for so long. It just is what I do. Now, with this particular gimbal, you want to use it in the upright mode most of the time. It works better that way. My other gimbal is a flashlight type gimbal where you're going to turn it down and you would hold it more like this. This gimbal prefers to be up, and that's what I do with it. That's what it likes. So this is the DJI OM4, and like I said, it is a little different than the 2 and the 3 because of the magnetic release, the quick release. It also comes with a magnet ring that you can put on the back, so if you want to carry your phone. I don't use it. In fact, I don't even know where it's at because I've never used it. This is how I use my gimbals, and there you go. And like I said, it does have a tripod. It comes with a charging cord. You can zoom. You can do a lot of different things. I'm used to doing things the way I do them, and that's it. But I'll show you one more time in case you missed it. This one with the OM4 and I believe the OM5, you can quick release it. So that way you're not having to mess with. I hate when I have to take my phone in and out of the little grabbers because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it, since I run it without a case on it because of my microphone. And then I just make sure it's in there, and there you go. That is my gimbal. I use this a lot. If you have kids, grandkids, or maybe you do it and you run TikTok. I have a friend and his grandson is starting to do TikTok, and because he does car stuff. And I told him, get this gimbal because of how easily it can go from one position, so he can do TikTok or he can do YouTube instantly. And that's probably one of the coolest things about this gimbal. So there you go. And this phone that I'm demonstrating with is a Samsung S20 Plus. So it is a rather large phone and it has no problem with it. I also have a iPhone 11 that I also use on it. So you can use either phone, not a big deal. The app works better with the iPhone than an Android. That's one reason I don't run the app. It's not as good with Android. I'll tell you that right off the get-go. But it does stretch pretty far, so I think most phones would fit it. I can't see any phone that wouldn't. And I can fold it back down. And there you go. Compact. I'm going to put the tripod back on just so I have it and know where it's at. And if you're new here and you have any questions, please let me know. I say I'm going to put the tripod on it and I can't get it to go. Why am I a dork? It's live. And when you're on live, there we go. It wasn't quite square. When you're on live, anything can happen. And we just go with the flow. And if you like what you're seeing, please click the follow button. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. Now, next up is, let me see. Oh, and I want to look here. I'm going to look at, okay. This next item, I'm actually using it to talk to you. I have 3 of these. We gave one to a friend, so I only have 3 now. I did have 4 because I use them on all my computers. This is the Logitech C920. And as of right now, while I'm live, there is a $10 off. If you're watching the replay, it may not be there. I don't know how long the $10 off is going to last. They don't tell me, so I don't have any clue. But this is a 1080p webcam, pretty much just a USB plug and play. It has the built-in microphones, and it's super easy to use. You can, let me see here. If you want to set this on top of a monitor, it has a nice little lip right here. And you can just set it there and then move this piece so that it sits nicely. If you need to angle the camera a little bit, you can. It does go back and forth. It's got a little bit there. Or I have mine mounted on a tripod. So that makes it super duper easy. If you want to put it on a tripod, you can do that. Or like I said, just set it on top of your monitor and you still got some angles. The thing is, you can get an app for it. So you can go in and change some settings like your white balance, your brightness. Like tonight, I turned my brightness down a little bit because I know it's late at night. Some people might be watching when they either just get up or maybe they're still laying in bed and just can't sleep. I didn't want the video super bright. You can also, with the app, turn off autofocus. So the autofocus, when I do that, would make the camera kind of blurry for a few seconds. So I turn autofocus off because I move around a lot. So if you do Zoom calls for work, I even use this to record videos that I put on YouTube when I do the talking head type videos. It's just a great little camera. Logitech does have a newer version of webcam. And so this one is now discontinued by manufacturer. I haven't got the new Logitech camera. So I don't know about it. I don't have it. But while they still have these, I still use them. They seem to work just fine. Well, hello, Mike 1. Good morning. Really early morning, maybe. I guess that depends on, or really late night, depends on where you're at. It's late night for me. It's 3:07 a.m. And I was doing some cleaning and straightening up because I'm getting some shelves to put over to hold products and make my area a little more organized, and then I couldn't sleep. I'll probably hate myself here in a few hours, but that's okay. What the heck? We're having fun tonight. So this is, oh, it's 6 a.m. Oh, you're on the east side. Yeah, all of you over there on the east side. I don't know how you handle that. Seems like y'all are just, I'm not ready for 6 a.m. yet. Sometimes I forget about the time difference, and I'll be saying good evening to people, and they're like, no, it's night or morning or afternoon. I'm like, I'm confused. So I'm glad you stopped in. I'm showing off some video gear. I have a ton of video gear, and that's what I've been doing a lot of because that's what people always ask me about. When I'm out at car shows, they're always, what's this? What's that? So I've been doing my lives on it. I do hope to go out into the shop and sort through the tools, the power tools, and do some power tool ones. I just have to get this organized so I can bring power tools in. And the problem with that is if they're needed out there and I have them in here, I have to be able to actually find them quickly instead of digging through a box. That won't make anybody happy. So I'm going to do some power tools. I just have to get things a little bit more organized. It's crazy because I need to have the products in my hand to be able to do a live on them. And that means that all those power tools have to come in when I do those shows. We'll get them though. Christmas is coming, and I know some of y'all want power tools. Yes, the early bird catches the worm. And, you know, out here in the Las Vegas area, speaking of worms, one of the things we don't really have here is worms. I have dug out in my flower beds and all over my yard. Worms are not something we have. I think the ground is too dry, and we have this caliche that is a really, really hard packed soil stuff. It's not even soil. It's caliche, and it's horrid. But I think that's why we don't have worms. It kind of makes me sad because growing up, did a lot of cane pole fishing down at the pond with worms. And I had a worm farm. Now I have no worms. But the early bird catches the worm, which means maybe I'll catch a worm here today. So it's late or early. Next item I have is a Logitech M187. I almost said C920. That's the camera. I'm on a Logitech kick right now. This is my favorite little mouse. It's tiny, tiny, as in, yeah, you can see. And I like it because it doesn't make my wrist cramp. It doesn't make my hand cramp, because when my last time when I didn't order one and my mouse died, I tend to break my clickers. When I break a left click, which is the one that always goes first, I go into my settings and switch them, and then I switch them so that my right click becomes my left click. And I used it as long as I could before I could get another mouse, and it got delayed in shipping, so I had to use another one we have laying around here, and it was bigger, and it drove, oh, my hand cramped. It hurt so bad. So these are my mouses of choice. I have a replacement, see? They do have an on-off switch. They have a AAA battery. And right here is your little dongle that you'll plug into your USB. So when you order one, almost all Logitech mouses have their little dongle right in here. So you just take off the place where you put the battery. And they're hard to see, though, because they're black and they just kind of blend in with it. So I always try to tell people where they are at. But yes, it does have an on-off switch. And I just love these little mice. My favorites. And I wanted to share them with you. I can't put it in if I take my laptop and I'm going to have to do much on my laptop, especially editing, I take a mouse and use with it, because the little finger pad thing on a laptop, I am not good with. I am not good with it. Editing takes me forever if I'm trying to cut out things, because I can't get my finger to do right when I can do it with a mouse quick and easy. But that I just shove in a little side pocket and I am off and running. I go everywhere with my mouse. It's my friend. Next up is an item that I use every day. Right now, I'm using it. And if you're new here, I'll go ahead and fill you in. You can go along the bottom of the video. You'll be able to see all the products. You can click through them. You don't have to wait for me to highlight them down there. You can click through and look at them. If you have questions about one of the products, let me know. These are things I use all the time, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. Also, there's a follow button. If you want to click the follow, I'd greatly appreciate it. That way you'll kind of get an idea of when I'm going live. And it's kind of fun. I'm an exciting person. Thank you, Mike1, for the follow. See? I greatly appreciate it. It makes me feel special and makes Amazon think I'm special. And I've already said I don't do happy dances because I have no rhythm. My dancing is more like a fish on a hot sidewalk. Not cool. But this is my Technic keyboard. In fact, I'm using it. That's why I picked it up right off my desk. This is a super duper thin, lightweight, weighs absolutely nothing. And it does have the little stand, so it's going to give you a tilt. It's got low profile keys, and I know it's hard to see on the camera, but they're pretty low profile. What I'm going to tell you about the keys, and I'm not going to tap on them because something will go crazy on my machines. They are not silent. They are the scissor keys. So, they're going to scissor, but they are not silent. They are not loud and obnoxious like some, but they are not silent. I normally get keyboards that are totally silent, but I ended up ordering this one because I needed one in a hurry, and it hasn't drove me nuts. I had another one that I gave away because it sounded like it echoed. But some of the cool things about this, I mean, it's super inexpensive. It's $19.99 right now. For that price, I have used the heck out of this, and I got no complaints. It's got a little indicator light right up here that will tell you when the battery's getting low. So that, to me, if I remember what that little light is, it's great. So I'm not over here cussing and screaming at my keyboard because it's not working when all it is probably needs another battery. And I have been known to cuss and scream at something and figure out it's user error. Me. I should know to change the batteries, but I don't always think of it. It also has an on-off switch. Now, if you're one of those that wants to save battery, you don't like it being on, this keyboard goes to sleep when you stop using it. So you don't have to switch it on and off. If I'm traveling and I'm taking it, I do switch it off just so it doesn't start bumping things and I wonder what happened. But it does have it. You don't have to use it. It will go to sleep. So when I turn my computer on in the morning, I get everything to try to wake up. But for this, I have to tap a key. I usually just hit the space bar a couple times and wake it up. And then I'm good to go. Now, with this, let me see here. I know it's hard to see. It's got right here. I'm going to pop this open. There we go. Now, you've got two AAA batteries. And when you first get it and you're looking for the USB dongle, it'll be right in here. I'm trying to get that in the light. That's where it would be right now. Mine is in my computer rather than in that hole. But that's where it is. You just take off the little cover. I know I saw in the questions, somebody thought it didn't come with a dongle and they couldn't figure out where it was. But there again, they just didn't open that little piece. But yeah, this is super lightweight. It's about 11 inches across here, and I believe it's 4.5 inches tall. It does not have the tin keypad. And so if tin keypad is something you use, not going to have it. It doesn't have it. I don't use a tin key. And I like this because it doesn't take up much room on my desk. I don't want a big keyboard. Since I don't use the tin key part, I don't need it. That just gets in my way. I'm picky with my computer stuff. I like my mouse in close to my keyboard, and I don't want that extra space taken up. I don't like keyboards too much when they have the mouse pad on them. I never use that because, like I said, I am not good at editing with my fingertip. It doesn't work well for me. So I'm going to look over here and see. All right, I'm checking. Now, if you go and check out that keyboard right now while we're live, they do have a $3 coupon. As of right now, what it'll be later, don't know. It may or may not be there. So, heads up on that one. Next up is one of my favorite things. I almost didn't get it because I didn't think I liked it. I didn't think I'd need it. I just had no use for it. Little did I know I do. That is my Ultra Ears Wonderboom 2. I have two of these little speakers. These are amazing little speakers. I when someone suggested I get it, and I'm like, why would I get that? Why don't I get big speakers? And I can't take big speakers outside. It's a pain in the butt. So I went ahead and I got one. Oh my gosh. Then I had to get a second one so that I have sound on each side. That's how much I enjoy these. I like that it has the little handle so I can connect a little a hooky thing. Carabiner, something like that. I hook it up because the stereo in my car died. Don't know why. Some wires went somewhere and I'm just not interested in fixing it. So I use this in my car for my stereo if I'm taking a long trip. And when you have two of them, you can pair them. So that's kind of cool. I turn it on. There you go. And there it's on. This is 360 sound. So it's not like it's only going to come out here. And if you're sitting in the back, you can't hear it. It's 360 sound. It does have like a nylon fabric here, a nylon-ish or a coated fabric. I'm not quite sure what it is, but if water gets spilled on it or something, it's not going to run it. The water's just going to actually puddle up and run right off. I think I'm going to double check on this. I got the page over here. They say they're floatable. So if you've got them on a boat or out by the pool and one falls in, they will float. I don't trust anything that far, and I'm in the desert. It's not like I'm near the river or a creek or anything. I've got friends with boats that I might go out on, but I'm not taking my speakers. They got to provide those. And down here is a little tree. That is your outdoor boost. So they do have a little boost when you're outside and need them. The charge, I get a good bit of time out of them. I've never actually just charged them all the way up and timed how long they last. They also come with a cord so you can charge them. They're USB. I just plug them into either one of my wall plugins or I use them with one of my power packs. I've got several power packs I can plug them in with. They work great. And like I said, I pair mine together when I'm out. I like that I can, oh, it's trying to pair. I hit the wrong button. I like that I can easily carry them. They don't take up much room. If I do go somewhere and I think I want to take them, I can throw them in my camera bag, my purse, what have you. Like I said, I use them in my car. I hang them in my car from the little hooky things I have. So those are Ultimate Ears Wonderboom 2. And I love them. And yes, the little volume, it's a slickery feel and it is a little bit raised. So even in the dark, you can feel that. I took these when I went camping. And let me tell you, it was dark and I needed that because otherwise I'd have had to hit my phone to turn the volume down and then my phone would have been bright. So I can do it here or by my phone. Either way. So those are that's my car stereo. I know what you're thinking. Cheryl, go fix your car stereo. I would, but it seems like too much trouble. Probably costs me more than it's worth. Maybe I'll just one day buy a new car. I don't see that happening right away, but it might. And if you're new here, you can check out any of the products in the carousel below by clicking the little ends. It'll go ahead and switch through them. You can check them out. If you got questions, be sure to ask, and I'll do my best to answer them. There's also a follow button. Be sure to hit that because I'd greatly appreciate it. You'll know when I go live. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of video stuff because people have asked for it. I hope to be back doing some power tools. I've got to get some things organized so I can access them easily. And when they have to go back out in the shop, I've got it all organized. Because if I have the tools inside, that's always the tools that's needed outside, usually at the same time. So that's what we're going to be doing. I just got my new Christmas background today. It's a curtain I bought here on Amazon. I got the last one. And I decided that I wasn't doing Halloween and Thanksgiving. I didn't want a big turkey behind me. So I thought, you know what? We're shopping for Christmas anyway. With all the things going on, my suggestion is you get your Christmas shopping done early. Don't wait till the last minute. Lots of the brands here on Amazon have already started putting everything on special. Like they would for Black Friday. They're already starting those specials up because we don't want people to wait till the last minute and then not be able to get it. That's not cool. Somebody will be sad on Christmas morning. And I don't want to hear children cry. So I make sure everything's done. My kids are all grown. But next up, I have the Insta. Let me see. Insta 360 selfie stick. Insta 360 makes 360 cameras that will, take a picture all the way around, like you may see on Google Maps where you can spin the picture. Insta 360 makes some amazing 360 cameras. I don't personally have an Insta 360 camera. I have two other 360 cameras, but I don't have the Insta 360. My friend does. But I still needed a selfie stick to use with my other 360 cameras. And when you use a 360 camera, it encompasses the whole thing like a ball. So you want this down here to be as small as possible so that it doesn't take up much room in your picture. And at the bottom, you're not going to have a big blotch where this is showing. So that's one reason I got this. For another reason, I can attach, because it's a 1/4-inch screw, I can attach a holder for my phone, whatever I want on top of it, not just 360s. So this is extendable. Yes. And actually it is super lightweight. And I was kind of surprised with as lightweight as it is, how sturdy it is. Because I don't want to carry something super heavy. I sure as heck wouldn't use this one for a walking stick. I've got another monopod, but it is big, and you could use it for a walking stick. This one, no, but it's small. It does have a 1/4-inch hole here, so you can screw it on to something else. I could even, if I wanted to, I'm trying to get it. This is off my gimbal. So if I wanted to use it as more of a tripod because I'm out and I've attached my phone attachment to it, I could do that because it's got the hole on the bottom. I can attach it to other things. That makes it handy. And I'm going to check and see let me see. It's 4.5-star rating, and it's been rated 709 times. And like I said, it's made for a 360 camera. And I really wish I had an Insta360 camera to show you, because I understand they take amazing videos. I just don't have one of them yet. And it's not in my budget yet. Maybe one day. I hope, because I've got 2 other 360 cameras. One is very old, and the other one is just super expensive, and I can't, there's a lot of things I don't do with it because of the price. I can't justify accidentally having it out. Whereas the Insta360 cameras are reasonably priced. I understand they take great video and pretty good pictures, and it'd be fun, because with my old 360, I put it on a monopod, stuck it out our car window going 80 miles an hour down the freeway with some rat rods. So I've got 360 video of these rat rods just blowing our doors off. So I like to do some of those fun things. I have put them under lowriders. I put them in rat rods, all kinds of stuff. But right now I'm kind of in a bind, and I have my really expensive one and my one that's getting old and doesn't work as well now. So you never know. Maybe Santa will bring me an Insta360 camera. Maybe Santa, they've got 360 cameras, they've got 3D cameras, they've got similar to little GoPros, all kinds of stuff. I'd like to go over there. Maybe if I win the lottery, I can go over to their store and go shopping. I think that'd be kind of fun. I'm sure they'd appreciate it, because then I'd be sitting here showing you all kinds of cool stuff. Because I love my cameras, and I use them a lot at car shows. My 360 cameras, in fact, I'm going to show you my expensive one in a little bit. I do a lot of Google Maps images and virtual tours for businesses. When you go to some Google My Business pages, you can see a virtual tour where you can go through a store 360 and spin. I do a lot of those. And at car shows, I take 360 images, like I said, sometimes under a lowrider that's tilted up, maybe inside one so you can see around. I also work for a consignment cars, but they do custom cars, classic cars, vintage type cars, all kinds of cool stuff. And I do some 360 images inside their cars so you can look around inside these classic cars. So there's all kinds of fun things you can do with a 360. In fact, I'm about to talk myself into going and getting an Insta. I'll get there. Next up is something very basic, but I wanted to show them to you because this is something I don't always find. These are for my iPhone. I run an Android and an iPhone. I have cords for both. But these are 6 feet long. And this is, I have had these last super long compared to some of my other cords. They have like a fabric over them. And I don't know if that's what makes them sturdier or what. But they have not, a lot of times my cords, after a while, because I'm kind of rough on them, I shove them in my pants pockets and things like that when I'm running. They end up shorting out and then don't charge. I haven't had this problem. They also have up here where it usually can get bent real easy. This is super sturdy. It's like a hard plastic, rubberish plastic coating right here, and it's on each end. And I think that also helps so that that doesn't get bent at the, right there at the end where a lot of them are vulnerable, and therefore I don't have to worry. I don't break them. Because Lord knows I do. I also have this cool little thing right here that got the holes and a little knobby. And so when I roll up my cords, I can take them. I use a lot of twisty ties for these. And I like this. This makes it handy. So there you go, 6 foot long. I can have my charger in my back pocket, have my phone up, have plenty of cord. I can even pass the cord back to the back seat when I have it plugged into my car. 6 foot long. Never again will I have a short cord. So I'm glad y'all are joining me. My name is Cheryl Locke, and also known as Off the Jacks, because I do a lot of car show videos and pictures and help plan some of the cruises and stuff here in the valley. So that's why it's called Off the Jacks. I know that confuses people. They're like, who's Jack? It's Jack, like a car jack. I had to think of a name, and there it was. Because when I started doing car shows, some of the guys would not really talk to me. So I needed them to just not, they wouldn't have anything to do with me. I could take pictures, everything else, they ignored me. So I started off, I put Off the Jacks, and I bought the domain, did everything all over. The Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, you name it. Giphy. I have a Giphy channel. And I started posting as Off the Jacks. Well, these guys didn't know who it was, so they would share it, thinking it was some guy. And then they figured out it wasn't. But they're over it now. And the ones that aren't, we don't worry about them. And moving right along. Let me see. There's also a follow button right down here below the video. If you click that, you'll know when I'm going live, or if I've gone live and you've missed it. And I greatly appreciate that. I have next up the SanDisk. Now I'm going to refresh my page on my other monitor because I know it is now on special. Before I go anywhere, I'm going to tell you this. This is now 44% off. You're going to save $110. This is a 1 terabyte hard drive that connects straight to your phone. So I can plug it into my phone, and download off my phone straight onto this 1 terabyte right here. I can also then plug it in to my laptop or my desktop, right like that. So, like I said, I take a lot of 360 images. 360 images are ginormous. I also do a lot of 4K video on the phone while I'm out at car shows. Ginormous. The problem comes in if I run out of room. My phone is normally good to go because every time I leave a car show, I come home and I download all my pictures and videos onto an external hard drive through my computer. But if I'm gone for a weekend, then I have to take my laptop, I have to take a external hard drive, hook it all up, and download each evening in either the hotel, or if I'm camping, I have to do that, and it's a pain. Now, I can do it right here and save it. Has a cool little handle. I've got a clip now in my camera bag that I can attach it to so that it doesn't accidentally flop out, because I didn't imagine it to be this small when I ordered it. And I've wanted it for a few years and didn't buy it because the price. I'm like, oh, I can go through the trouble of doing it the hard way. Well, when they marked this down, I was like, oh, yes, I am getting one. And here it is. It's just tiny. In fact, yeah, that's how tiny it is. And it's 1 terabyte. Crazy, 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 crazy. My dad worked for IBM when I was growing up, and he was a repairman. And we used to go to repair computers, and the computers would be as like the size of your living room or bigger, just for a simple card punch. And my dad used to tell me, one day, every house is going to have a computer. Everybody is going to be able to talk on their phone and see the other person. He used to say they're going to get computers that are tiny. If he was still alive when everybody started carrying these, he'd be going, told you so, because people thought he was crazy. Literally, they thought he was nuts. That'll never happen, because he used to say, you're not going to watch TV. You're going to watch it on your computer. So he passed away before he got to see a lot of this stuff come through, but he would be going, yep, I knew you could get a terabyte of information on something that little. So that is my SanDisk, 1 terabyte. It does come, let me double check. It comes in 250 gigabyte, 500 gigabyte. Oh, not 250. Oh, maybe so. Let me look at this. I'm looking. Yeah, 250, 500, 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, or 4 gigabytes. Or terabytes. I'm sorry, terabytes. So up to 4 terabytes. I got the 1 terabyte. That was enough. But I guess if you were going to do a lot, that some people, everything they do is on their phone. They don't even do things on a desktop. I know people that don't have a desktop or a laptop. I don't know how they manage, but they do. Of course, they don't live on their computer. All my business is on my computer, so that's why I have one. I couldn't imagine editing hours worth of video on a phone. My head would spin. My eyes would pop out. So there is that. Ooh, the next up. So yeah, the SanDisk, you're going to save 44%, which is over $100. And I like saving money. I've got a fly in here. If you're watching the replay, whether or not that special's there, I don't know. I have no idea of when they're going to take specials off, when they're going to put them on. I can only tell you what I'm seeing right now. So if that's something you're interested in, if you want to get it for a Christmas present for yourself or somebody else, be sure to check it out now. Because 44% savings is good. Very, very good. Next up, we're going to look at my Ricoh Theta Z1. And I know this isn't something for everyone, but I wanted to show you just in case you know somebody that would be interested, or maybe you are, or maybe you just want to see. Sometimes I watch things just to see what the heck it is, and that's all right. This is a 360 camera. This is a little more expensive than my other one, a lot more expensive than my other one, and more expensive than like the Insta360 cameras. This is it. It's called the One Shot. If you're not familiar with 360 pictures, this is a one shot. You can take 360 images with your DSLR camera where you're going to take a series of pictures and then stitch them all together. Those pictures are amazing. A DSLR camera can take some amazing pictures. The problem I have is because since I do these for local businesses and for Google Maps, it takes so long and no business wanted to pay me for that kind of time. No small business, especially since things have been kind of wacky the past year and a half. So this is a one shot, which means I don't have to take near as long. I can screw this into a tripod. I use a light stand, not a tripod, and back up. I can take bracketed pictures. So therefore I can take up to 9 pictures with different light settings. So one's going to be super bright and one's going to be super dark and all that in between. I can set it to take a single picture, or I usually do 3 when I do bracketing, just because I can usually get it close enough that 3 works great. And then I can either pick the best out of the 3 or I can blend them together to even out my shadows. But it's a great camera, takes beautiful pictures for 360s. The video isn't the best, and that's okay for me, because what I would want to use a 360 camera for video is, like I said, putting it out my car window, doing car things with it, putting it under the cars, in the cars. And I don't really want to do that out at car shows with this one because it's a little pricey if it gets damaged. And this is how I make money with my business. So it's kind of touchy with it. But it comes with your charging cord. They're fun to use. I have fun. And like I said, for the business I work with, the one with a car place, I do take it and put it inside the car and take 360 pictures inside the car, so you can be like you're sitting in there and looking around. So that's kind of something fun that I thought. I don't show this camera very often because I know that it's not something most people are interested in, but I got to throw it out there sometimes so y'all can see something different.